We're back. We're back to working on a 1968 C10 in bright white. Look, folks, I want to keep working on this dash. It's been bothering me. I want to get it done. So let's just hop into that real quick and then we'll move on. Some interesting things here. And how I make them last is a good thing too. Let's get to it. Here's our dash. Now this, I gotta make sure I can see the other thing. Yeah, that was a hint. So this is our dash, and you can see the multicolors. A little low spot there I didn't feel before. But it's really pretty smooth now. Can't tell with my gloves on. Might be a little dent right there. I don't know. But you can see this one, this little horseshoe of white right here. That's because it wouldn't sand the paint out. And then that's a shiny metal. And there's another little horseshoe right there, a little spot. Now, there's a few. I think there's one on the other side. Yeah, I'll show it to you. You can probably see it from there. So here on the other side, you can see this bright white here, this circle. That's because somebody dented that. I don't know how. Because the dash, well, here's what I do. You get your dash cover pad, and you put back in there, and you see what gets covered. That one doesn't. I mean, when you push it down, it gets a little, but the other side, it's almost covered too. I hate to use body filler on a dash because it gets so hot. But in this particular instance, I think it's a good idea. Moving again. I think it's a good idea. Just because the dent might be so noticeable, and this might be covered anyway. I just soon do a good job of it. But I want to show you this. So the rust converter, I don't know what kind most people get. They make it in a spray can. I don't know. It's a lot of money, and it doesn't seem to absorb as well. So what I do, get an old tin can, just a soup can, and you get your name brand. You get whatever you want. This is a rust neutralizer, turns into a primer. Now you might wonder why I got a tin can. If you take this stuff, and it's kind of a creamy, milky, I don't know, color, a little pink to it. But if you dip this and then brush on your rust, and then dip it and brush on your rust, you're getting rust in the container. And then the container's trying to convert it and using up all its stuff, its conversion issues. So I always put whatever you think you need, you can always add more. In your tin can. You can use the same tin can over and over as long as you let it dry overnight or a couple of days. It keeps lining my can. It should never rust. But what I want to do is get any of these, like down in this gutter. Man, I'm telling you, you can't put too much on here. So brushing in this bottom where all the water laid, getting that rust converted. You can put it wherever you want. Just realize you're going to have to sand it. Because like anything, it's a product. When you put it on there, it's a thin layer, and it'll cause a spot where you can see a little bit. But you just want to dip this and coat that bottom. What's really important is go up under the lip, under the windshield lip. This lip here. Go underneath that. You can barely see. With the windshield out, you can see. This is the only time you're going to do it. So just take the brush and rub it right up in there good. This may see water again someday. It shouldn't, but you never know. Someone could spill their pop up here. Soda water, whatever. We just keep coating this, getting all that rust up in there good. Just take us a minute. And then I'm going to do a little body fill on those. And I could get underneath, but there's a support rail in there naturally. Anytime I want to do metal finish, I can't get to both sides. So you can't hammer a dolly it if you can't get the dolly in there. You just keep working this down. You could hit any of these areas you think are rusty. I mean, that's not really rust. Nothing comes off. It doesn't take much of this stuff, but don't put it on liberally, but not crazy. And especially the little drain holes. I don't know. The lip is what's most important. We'll cover the top one more time. I've already done it once. But 2 coats ain't going to hurt in case it wasn't able to convert every little piece. You know, sometimes it can't get every little bit. Get this. I was trying to meet up in the middle. Just really want to get that stuff converted. Trying to protect anti-rust. Seems like that's all I mess with. It doesn't matter where you live. I mean, I guess if you live in California, you get less. But they do get some salt water, depending where you live. It's just in the air. So most of it had to do with rust. That's my point. Yeah, that's a pretty good coat of that on there. Let's hit that top. Can you guys see the top? I want to hit that one more time, and then we're going to get to doing a very small amount of body fill. It's probably in the way. Get all these areas good. Even if you're going to weld on it, it doesn't matter. You can't. It doesn't hurt it. Make sure you got all the rust converted. Now I'm going to go inside too. Rub this all up on the inside. We got body work to do in there though. Upside down on my head. But that's it. Just work this right in there. Don't be shy. We're going to sand that top lip probably right to metal. So there's no sense in converting that. But this upper lip's got just a little corrosion on it. I ran that needle scaler on it. That's scary. It knocks off a bunch of metal you thought was good, and it wasn't. It looked a lot better. But we still got plenty there. Now we're going to have her converted up real good. Putting a windshield in. I want to show that too when that day comes. I have Tom come over. It's his truck. He can help me with it. We'll slap her in there. He's happy to. Great guy, always offering help for me as well. I don't ask for much help, just kind of the guy I am. Probably should ask for more help, but anyhow, that's another story for another day. Working in there good. Hit this top a little more. I don't know. I get carried away. You guys can watch me brush on this all day. Hitting well, it's got to be cleaned up still. Hitting any little spot that looks rusty. All right. That's pretty much it for that side. That's probably out of frame half that time. A little over here so I can get in front of you. All right, I got a little left. I'll have to do, when you guys go, I'll just keep rubbing this on whatever rusty thing I can find. I'm going to use it up. You can't pour it back in the bottle. I mean, you could. I'm just not going to. Look at me. Told you I can't stop. Can't help myself. Let's mix up that filler. Get those little spots filled up. You guys have seen filler mixed 100 times. I would have done it off camera, but it would be set up by the time I got to it. So, critical areas. Hit all these critical areas. This down in here, this is a critical area too. I don't know if you can even see me way over here. I'll come over there and do it so you can see what I'm doing. This spot here is a critical spot. Water is going to run down here. No matter what, it's going to happen. You come around your window, it's going to come around the front of the cowl. This area, it's going to have water, lots of it. Well, we're going to pretty much fill this entire trough area with a seam seal. Just because there is a seam right there and the water runs right in it. Not GM's best. I'll say that. If you really want to play with this stuff like I do, you can scrape it down into these, where these two pieces of metal are overlapping. Yeah, I say that a lot. We're going to get to that next week. I always say next week. Next week. See you next week. We'll do it later. Yeah, I didn't even comment on my last video about later. I'd like to say later. Something's always going to come later. Make sure all your loose debris is out of there. Yeah, I told you I was going to go do filler, didn't I? Here I am still doing this. All right, let's go get some filler done. Just want to hit those couple little spots. We'll run over there and do some filler work. Take a minute. Just take a minute. How many times you heard that in your life? It'd just take a minute. Let's see. Today's Saturday. Yeah, I've never mentioned this before, but you might hear sirens in the background. Yep, it's every weekend. We have a volunteer fire department in my area, and the only way they get paid is if they go on runs. So every weekend there's a run. Every weekend. I don't know. We're not going to get political on this channel. I'm not going to allow it. We're going to mix up some body fill. That's probably way too much. I'm using lightweight. It happens to be the Ever something. I can't remember. Evercoat. All right, that's probably way too much. Then I'll be running around trying to figure out what to do with it. That's kind of how I am. Yeah, I'm like everybody else. I don't measure nothing. Should, but I usually put too much in. That's okay. Hardens up faster. And I know you're supposed to scrape in circles and all that garbage. I don't do it. I do it my way. I'm lazy. I don't seem to get too many air bubbles doing it this way, so I'll keep doing it this way. Get this mixed up, and then we're going to get that done. Way too much body filler. I'm trying to think of what I could fill. Probably that hood. All right, we're getting a consistent color. That's all that matters to me. Dashboard, so I'm glad I'm making it extra hard. It's gonna see some heat someday. Let's make sure all that's mixed in good. All right, enough talking about mixing. Let's get this on there. I hadn't thought about how I'm gonna move the camera with my hands full. Good enough for now. Let's go over there and get this done. This dash is going to be behind us. Now, I obviously have to paint it and do a little hand sanding on it, but you guys know how to hand sand. It's everybody's favorite thing to do. Whatever. Let's get you. I should move you guys around. I'm glad you like doing the shop tour. All right. How's that? Is that okay? Get it? Can I get in here? All right, up over that. Here we go. Enough grunting and groaning. Get this dash filled again. A little spot up in the corner. Not too concerned with up inside the dash part. It's going to be covered anyway. We just want to get the top, the face. Oh, took too much out. It can be sanded, right? That's probably enough. If you put on way too much, you just have way too much sanding to do. That one showed up nicely. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to go a little heavy because it'll have some texture in it. And that's good enough. And then we had one more on the far side and all this extra body fill. This big one over here. Yeah, it was way too much. Yeah, I'm not good at this. But you make it work. I got some kind of rust piece or something in there. Let's go one more time over it. I go over it several times just to kind of help it stick. Rub it in there. I think that's going to be enough for that. Thought there was one more little spot, but I can't remember. There's where they weld them on. Sometimes there's a little bump or a little spot. There might be a little right there. Let's see what we get. Maybe. All right, that's it for that. What are we going to do with this? It's got to go somewhere. Can't waste nothing. Go put it on that hood. I'll probably regret it. Oh, we were supposed to do the back. That's what I forgot. We were supposed to do this back dent on the last video. Well, you get an extra video this week. That's a good thing. So on the hood, might as well go here real quick. I usually just dust off what I got, make sure she's clean. And then whatever dark, the pink is where it sanded and the dark is where it didn't. And this is the old body fill. So we could put a skim coat on that. Multi-layers and multi-colors. I kind of like it because it shows me how I'm sanding through when you change colors. That's getting pretty close. What we got here? Yeah, we're getting pretty close to finished. Put it on, take it off. That's the name of the game on body fill. Again, I'm not good at this stuff, which just means I have to do it more times. That's coming nicely. We'll cut a little there. Maybe just a touch there. Right there. I didn't dust it off. It's probably wrong, but I'm showing you how I do it. And it turns out pretty good. I will come back and show you when I sand this how that color, yeah, that's starting to clump on me now. I wanted to put a little in here. I don't think I can do it. When it starts to set up, you can smear hard and you can get away with it for a few seconds, but that's about it. It'll start peeling up on you. All right, good enough for now. I'll clean that up later. All right, let's get that spoon. I'm not going to make you do it. I'm going to leave you over here. I'm just going to make you sick to your stomach. And I'm going to see if I can get this dent out. You guys see that dent? Yeah, now I got Mondo on the floor. Excellent. I was going to pop that out last video. It slipped my mind. So I got a soft spoon, what I call a soft spoon. It kind of looks like a spoon on the end. It's rounded. And if it's right here where it belongs, of course I didn't plan ahead, but I found it. It will give it kind of a soft push. I don't want to make a dent outward. That's my worry. So let's get that dent out of there. Get you in a position where you can actually see it. Can you see it? Right here. That little crease right there. See if we can get you a little closer. To move this. We're going to take this spoon and go in there. Now you can see it. We'll go inside in a little hole and see if we can knock that out because it's right on the seam. Yeah. Got one little hole for the gas tank mount. I think I can sneak in there. Maybe not. Not with that long of a bar. You just feel around. Oh, I think I got it. Let's see if I can pop that out. Oh, look at that. Not as good as I'd like, but not bad. If I had my body hammer right there, last week I was going to use it when I wasn't supposed to. What I do with my body hammer, people, if we can just tap on that metal and kind of get it to just flow, if that's the right word, settle in a little better, that'd be nice. All right, well, I'm going to use a different hammer. Oh, Darren. So we'll use this. This is my hammer. Yeah. That's the hammer I use on the lead. It's small enough we can just tap in this area, make it stay out hopefully. Just want to tap on this upper lip. And then I can't tell where it's pushing out down there. I don't have a lot of adjustability on the inside. That might do it a little better. Yeah. I can't. Feels like it's right there, but we'll just manipulate just a little. A little higher. Almost got it. Looking pretty good. Boy, we got a lot of it. I want to get more. I'd like to get it just where it, I'd like to get it where it doesn't even need body filler, but I don't really see that happening. Oh, gracious, look at right there's my body hammer. All right, this is a smaller screwdriver. You can leave it done if you're not careful. But when you're looking down the panel, you can usually see about where it's at. Just when you pry on it. Let's try that. Come on. A little mess. I want to get a little more. That's pretty good. Maybe I'll work on it when you guys aren't here. Still just a little dent right in there. I'm going to get that out. But that's all I use. Body hammer, screwdriver, this wider spoon. I like this getting behind things sometimes. It's handy. But. Well, there, we did some things today. Matter of fact, I mean, it's been 21 minutes, but probably long enough we could sand on this a little bit. You think that's set up at all? I mean, it's been a few minutes. She's still pretty tacky. I better wait. I'll sand that out and put a quick coat of primer on it. Next week I'll show you how it turned out. But that's going to be fine. Looks like there's a couple little pock marks in there. Could have been air bubbles. You know, I just bragged up I don't get air bubbles, but there's a few. Well, that's your bonus video of the week. I'd throw out an extra one because I got a few new subscribers. Give them a little something extra to look at. Well, there it is. Thank you. Like, subscribe, all that garbage. You know how it works. Appreciate it. Sometimes I forget. I'm going to mention this right at the end. Sometimes I forget and I use the same spot 2 weeks in a row for my, can you find it? Can you see it? You know where it's at? If you didn't see it last week, there's a hint. There'll be a new hint this week. You're looking for Loctite of any brand, but I usually use the orange. It just stands out a little better. But thanks for coming to see me. We got lots of work to do. Got a long way to go. We're going to cover a lot of individual parts on these trucks. I have a feeling on this one, I'm going to cover pretty much anything you ever need to do on these. It's all here. This all needs pretty much every little part. Good luck on your vehicle. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next week. Last time it was 2 pushes. Let's see this week. 1, 2, yeah, see. 3, come on. 4. Well, I got to take my glove off, I guess.